Malami Ngige makes U-turn as Buhari sends off ministers vying for positions. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday preempted his ministers who indicated interest in vying for presidential and other positions by sending them forth while they were contemplating whether to resign or not. The president bade farewell to outgoing members of the Federal Executive Council (FEC) at a brief ceremony held at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. However, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and the Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, have made a U-turn. It was learned that Buhari had told Malami to shelve his ambition of vying for the governorship seat of Kebbi State and remain in the cabinet until 2023. On another hand, Ngige announced the withdrawal of his presidential ambition, saying he'd rather remain as a minister. All this happened a few hours after the send-forth ceremony they attended at the villa. Before now, 3 ministers had resigned, namely the Minister of State Education, Emeka Nwanjiaba, Science, Technology and Innovation, Ogbonaya Onu, and Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio. Daily Trust Saturday learned that Buhari had to organize the event ahead of FEC before the political appointees could change their minds over the plan to pursue elective positions. Speaking at the valedictory section, the president said appointments will be made without delay so that the business of governance would not suffer as their departure had created a vacuum that would be filled. President Buhari said a significant number of them had been sufficiently equipped to aspire to higher elective offices, including the office of the president. I have no doubt that if the next president emerges from among former members of this cabinet, like any other aspirant, ample competence and outstanding service delivery would be on display. This would be part of our legacies to Nigerians, he said. The president, who commended the departing public officers for serving the country sacrificially with dignity and honor, had at the last FEC meeting on May 11, 2022, directed that all ministers and other political appointees who aspire to contest for elective offices in the 2023 general elections should resign their current appointments. The outgoing members of the FEC present at the valedictory section included Ministers of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, Niger Delta Affairs Godswill Akpabio, Science, Technology and Innovation Ogbonaya Onu, State for Petroleum Resources Timipri Silva, Labour and Employment Chris Ngige. Others were Malami, a senior advocate of Nigeria SAN, Minister of State, Mines and Steel Development Uche Oga, the Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talen, and the Minister for State for Niger Delta Affairs Chief Tayo Alasodara. The Minister of State Education Nwanjiaba, who had earlier tendered his resignation, was not present at the valedictory session. Speaking on behalf of the outgoing ministers, Akpabio thanked the president for giving them the opportunity to serve and contribute their quota to nation building. He said that as they step aside, they would continue to be great disciples of Buhari. May one of us succeed you in order to continue the good legacies you have laid on ground. We have seen and know your vision. We know where you want the country to be, he said. Announcing his withdrawal from the presidential race, Ngige promised to stay away from the internal party processes of the All Progressive Congress (APC). In a press statement, the minister noted, "I took this momentous decision firstly in the overall interest of the nation in order to enable me to concentrate on my job and assist the president and the government, and secondly, for other family reasons," he said. Meanwhile, constitutional lawyer Mr. Femi Falana has faulted the withdrawal of resignation letters by the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, SAN, and his Labour and Productivity counterpart, Dr. Chris Ngige. A few hours after a valedictory meeting with the president on Friday, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, said that he had withdrawn his presidential aspiration and would remain in office as minister. Ngige said this in a statement he signed and issued to newsmen on Friday in Abuja. He said after having an audience with the president, he decided to remain in office in order to enable me to concentrate on my job and assist the president and the government weather the difficult last lap in the life of the administration, and secondly, for other family reasons. The minister said that he had since communicated his decision to the president and the secretary to the government of the federation. Malami was also reported to have rescinded his decision to contest for Kebbi State governorship in order for him to remain in office as Minister of Justice. Falana on Friday, however, said the withdrawal offended Section 306 of 2 of the 1999 Constitution. In a statement, Falana claimed 9 ministers in the cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari resigned their appointment to pursue political ambitions, noting that only a reappointment by the president could bring them back to the Federal Executive Council if cleared by the Nigerian Senate again. He said, at the last Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday, May 11, 2022, President Muhammadu Buhari directed all ministers and other political appointees who aspire to contest for elective offices in the 2023 general elections to resign their appointments. In compliance with the directive, 9 ministers resigned their appointments. The former minister are Rotimi Amechi, Godswill Akpabio, Ogbonaya Onu, Timipri Silva, Chris Ngige, Abubakar Malami's son, Uche Oga, Pauline Talon, and Chief Taiwo Alasodaro. In a farewell meeting held with the former minister on Friday, May 13, 2022, President Muhammadu Buhari thanked them for serving the nation sacrificially with dignity and honor. While wishing them success in the upcoming elections and in the future endeavors, the president commended them for their decision and courage to contest for elective offices and their compliance with his directive, pointing out that the alleged constitutional lacunae in walking back their resignation decision. Falana explained, having resigned from the Buhari administration, Mr. Abubakar Malami's son and Dr. Chris Ngige were reported to have withdrawn their letters of resignation after the farewell meetings. Such withdrawal is illegal as it constitutes a gross contravention of Section 306 of 2 of the Constitution, which stipulates that the resignation of any person from any office established by this Constitution shall take effect when the writing signifying the resignation is received by the authority or person to whom it is addressed, or by any person authorized by the authority or person to receive it. Since the resignation of the former ministers has taken effect, they cannot return to the cabinet either on their own volition or on the directive of the president. The resignation of the ministers is not a cabinet reshuffle. It is akin to the removal of the former ministers by the president. Therefore, if the former ministers are going to be reappointed, the president is required by Section 147 of the Constitution to submit names to the Senate for fresh screening and confirmation.